Okay, so let's get started with a little bit about Alpha Lambda Delta. I'll just be pretty brief with the history, but it is a momentous year for us. So we are 100. This is our centennial year. So we had a big celebration that with board members and former board members over the summer. And then at our conference, if you are coming to our conference, we'll talk about conference in a minute. We'll have another little celebration in October, but it's a big year for us because we turn 100. So I do like to talk a little bit about the history. I'm going to talk about the pillars and again, a little bit more direct resources for you as officers. So we just have some cool artifacts I'd like to show. This was the very first charter. Whenever a new chapter forms, maybe you have your charter somewhere framed. I'm not sure how old your chapter is on your campus. You might want to ask about that if you aren't sure where the charter is, but every chapter's provided one. This is the very first, and that signature right there, hopefully you know the name Mariah Leonard. That is the founder of Alpha Lambda Delta, and that's her signature. So yes, Mariah Leonard founded Alpha Lambda Delta. She was the Dean of Women at the University of Illinois in 1924. It was just an organization at Illinois until Purdue formed a chapter, and that then it became a national organization in 1926. Purdue and then many more followed after that. I visited the archives, which are housed at the University of Illinois a couple years ago, and it was cool to look through all the original writings and artifacts from our history. I thought this was pretty cool. There were pictures of, in the next slide will show you the iterations of the pin. So this is what hopefully you received when you were inducted, and hopefully you wear it or have it on your backpack or something. Everybody gets an insignia pin. But that was the very first drawing, and this next slide shows the early drawings from the early 1920s when they were developing ALD. And this is some of Mariah Leonard's writing. And that's when they developed the motto, "We shall pass our torches on one to another." So hopefully that's recognizable because it's part of our induction ceremony. The first conference was in 1930. We're nationally certified by ACHS. We started offering scholarships in the 40s. You can see the growth when after Purdue formed, went to 50 chapters, then 100, and then 200. You might not have known that we were just for women until the 70s. It was just a honor society just for freshman women. But then through Title IX in the 1970s, we by law had to go co-ed. Order of the Torch is our big award for outstanding chapters each year. That's been ongoing. Advisor of the Year is something else you can consider nominating your advisor for. And then we have today over 1.3 million members in total. We induct about 22,000 students every year. There are currently 414 recognized chapters. They're not all active, but we have been chartered at over 400 and 2 international, maybe a third coming soon. We're governed by a board of directors. There are student seats on the board of directors. So if you really love working with Alpha Lambda Delta and you might want to consider running for the board of directors, we have student seats and you get free travel all over the country, different meetings and the conference, and help run ALD. So give that some thought. We hopefully you know about our scholarships. I'll talk a little bit more about scholarships when I talk about the pillars. We do offer 99 scholarships each year. This you might already know about the TRO, STEM Learn Graduate Fellowships. As student leaders in your chapter, we want you to be familiar with our scholarships. We have a brand new one called the Service Fellowship, and we're going to give out 5 of those this year. As I mentioned, the Order of the Torch, we have other awards like the Alpha, Lambda, and Delta awards that are based on membership increases. I mentioned Advisor of the Year, and something else new is the new Belonging Award. And when I talk about the pillars, you'll get more of a sense of what that means. But we're going to have an award for chapters who really do a good job engaging their members in social activities, helping members get to know each other and helping them feel like they belong. And again, that's one of the pillars. I love this photo, so I had to show it. I mentioned that we had a centennial celebration this summer in June. These are board members and past board members. And there were about 40 people or so that came to this party in Chicago, and we had made a mess with confetti, but it was really cool. Fun time. So again, we're pretty excited about our centennial and proud of our history. Okay, so let's jump into the pillars, and I want you to be able to ask questions about this. If you want to throw questions in chat, we are going to brainstorm ideas around these pillars. That's what the breakout groups are for. But mostly these are really what Alpha Lambda Delta is all about. If I were to describe to anybody what is Alpha Lambda Delta, I'd say it's an honor society recognizing first-year academic success, and what we believe in and what we work towards enhancing are these 5 pillars. But most importantly for you, there are 5 areas you can think about for the way a chapter can be active on campus. So we're going to talk about ideas for how you might program or have an event, whether you call it student activities or student events or programming, whatever you're doing on your campus with members, with your current members, and open to these are events. You can host events at your university that are open to all students, particularly your current freshmen are a great target for your programs this year because they're your potential members. Your freshmen who just started a month ago at your universities are your future members. So you can open up these events to them as well. So again, these are 5 areas to help guide you and maybe spark some ideas for ways that you can be active on campus. A couple caveats before I jump into them. There's not a requirement. You don't have to do 2 academic and 3 service and 1 career. It's whatever you are interested in, whatever. Some of your boards, your officer boards are large. Some of you have 20, 25 members on your board, and some of you have 2. So it's whatever, there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. It's whatever you want to do, whatever you have the energy for, whatever your current fellow officers have energy for, and what your members want to do. The second caveat is to always be thinking about these as possible collaborations with other clubs on campus. You don't have to be doing all the stuff or anything you want to do with your chapter. You don't have to do just with ALD. See if there's you might be members of other clubs. I bet many of you are, and maybe leaders of other clubs. So see what your other student organizations are doing. There might be something that fits one of these pillars that you see some other club on campus doing. Find that president, find the students involved in that, and see if you can team up and do things together, or just support another club's activity by promoting their activity to your members and say, hey, let's all meet in the student union lobby at 7 o'clock. We're going to walk over to this club's event together. We're going to go together. And there you go. There's an ALD event that all you had to do was gather your members and go together. Okay, so these are the 5. And let's go through each one pretty quickly. So academics is the first one. We're an academic honor society. You all did really well your first semester or your first year at your university. So academics is key because we're an academic honor society. Now, I hope you know that you don't have to maintain. So you got into ALD because you got a 3.5 or higher GPA, or you were in the top 20% or higher percent. It depends on what your university chose as selection, but it's usually 3.5. And so if your GPA drops below that, and maybe it already has, or maybe it might, that's okay. It's not, you don't get kicked out. You're a member for life in Alpha Lambda Delta. But we would like to see the chapter help you and your members continue to do well. So again, it's not required, but it should be a goal because we're an academic honor society. you did really well, you're a high achiever. So how can you perhaps have some programs that you guys lead on your campuses that help members continue to do well? How do you support their continued academic achievement? And how do you promote academic excellence with your current freshmen to help them be motivated and excited to even apply for or get invited to join Alpha Lambda Delta? So promoting academic excellence in the fall can be really helpful for your current freshmen. So there's all sorts of things chapters do to program around academics. Bring someone in to a meeting and talk about time management skills. A huge issue for high achieving students. You have a lot, especially you leaders, you have a lot on your plate. You might work, you maybe lead this club and others, and you have to fit in your studies. So how to manage your time. Have someone come in to talk about test taking strategies. My guess is that every university represented here right now has some sort of department on your campus where somebody is skilled at this. Academic Skills Center, Tutoring Center, the Academic Resource Center, Academic Advising. There's someone on your campus who is probably really good with talking to students about test taking strategies and study skills. So invite somebody to come to a meeting or an event on campus that you host and invite students to come learn about that. The library is another resource. Have them come in and talk about research papers, how to write a research paper. And of course, the hottest topic in higher ed right now is AI, ChatGPT, that sort of thing. So maybe have someone come straight up talk about AI, what are ways we could use it and what are ways we're not supposed to use it. Other popular activities for chapters that we see is a lot of stuff during finals. So think about in the next couple of months, maybe put together something for your campus around finals time. Stress relief, helping students relax, not stress too much about the finals or everybody's studying for a million different things and 3 papers to write and 4 exams. So help people de-stress. And there's a lot of fun things you could do on campus as a chapter to get the name out, promote ALD, candy, little bags of candy. Again, make sure it's branded with ALD on it. Go to your local shelter, bring animals in for pet therapy relief, stress relief. So that is some of the things around academics. So let's jump to the next pillar and hopefully I'll answer somebody's question about scholarships. We would love to see all our members be winning scholarships, applying for scholarships, and really getting good at it because it's a skill and it doesn't come easy to everybody. So there's certain things that you could learn about how to successfully apply for a scholarship. So that could be a program you could do on your campus this fall or in the spring as a chapter. Work with your fellow student leaders and see if you can find someone on campus. Again, there's probably someone there on your campus, scholarship office maybe, or financial aid. That would be another department to ask for help. But host a session, how to find scholarships to even work. Where do we even look? And how do I even know what I'm eligible for? How to write a good essay answer, and how to fill out the application successfully. How to ask for a letter of recommendation, like how to get a good solid letter of recommendation, who you're supposed to ask. Those are all important skills for successfully applying for scholarships and go after that money. There is millions of dollars given away. I mentioned Alpha Lambda Delta scholarships, which is $225,000, but there are millions of dollars that you all should be going after. You're high achieving, you're a leader in your chapter, you're probably involved in other things, academically successful. So I hope that you apply for scholarships. But that could be a program, again, that you're hosting on your campus to help all your members learn how to apply. And let me just say one thing real quick about scholarship applications. I think a lot of students get turned off by an application. It might ask for like 6 essays and like all the, like find your transcripts and you ask for these letters of recommendation. I would just suggest to you that investing some time in getting all that organized means that for the most part, you can just reuse all of that. A lot of them ask the same questions. You could use the same reference writer for 6 applications. You don't have to ask for 6 different letters of recommendation if you're applying for 6 different scholarships. So invest some time to learn how to apply for scholarships and then just reuse it all. Just recycle it. You might need to tweak some words here and there, but you can recycle all that and have it handy and ready to go. First of all, our scholarship application deadline is February 1st. So that's the most important for all of our scholarships, February 1st. Right around November, check back, keep an eye on the site. We'll do announcements. We'll put something up on social media. If you're not following us yet, we're going to talk about our Instagram account, but if you're not following us yet, I would suggest you follow us at National ALD because we'll announce it there, but look in early November. Okay, the third pillar is service. Pretty self-explanatory. Service activities, community service, be anything you want. Poll your members, talk to your other officers, see are you passionate about something? Do you have like this, some personal history with anything, nursing homes and homeless shelters and soup kitchens and Habitat for Humanity, river cleanups, environmental stuff, elderly, kids, literacy, whatever it is that you want to do. It's a nice way to get the group together, give back. Students like to give back and impact their community. So service is the third pillar. And think about your communities. There might be something close by that's unique to your university that has a need. The fourth pillar is career development, and we include leadership development in that as well. We would love for Alpha Lambda Delta chapters all over to help students, members, and other students, but members in particular, develop career readiness skills, leadership skills. This is a great opportunity for you to develop your leadership skills. This can take the form of a lot of different things. This is a popular one among our chapters already. You might already know that your chapter does some things on this. Bring speakers in, again, from your campus. Look to your campus who are full of resources. Your career, I'm sure 99% of you have a career center, career development center, career and counseling, whatever it's called. See if someone will come in to a meeting again and talk about resume writing, cover letters, how to find an internship in your field, anything you want them to talk about. Headshot photography is a popular activity that a lot of chapters do. Get a photographer, tell your members to come at a certain day and time, be dressed up from, the waist up, and get a professional headshot that could be used on LinkedIn or other sources. And then the biggest thing that I would strongly suggest, if you have not done this yet or participated in this yet, I strongly recommend ALD LEED Certified. So LEED Certified is it's unique to exclusive benefit and unique just to Alpha Lambda Delta, developed just for us, just for you, to help you develop your leadership skills and career readiness skills. So it's an online series, certificate series, we call it, and it's self-paced. You can sign up now and then take the next year to participate in the different modules. Maybe do it during the winter break or next summer even. If you complete 10 out of 12 of the 12 topics we offer, you can let us know and you'll get a certificate and be listed on our website as nationally certified. But they're really good topics. They're really good career readiness topics. So check that out as well. Last but not least is what we call belonging. And this one stems from our commitment to diversity and inclusion, because we want students, we want members of Alpha Lambda Delta to feel included, to feel like they belong to something. For many students, it's the first student organization they got invited to. It is particularly, hopefully, something that students are proud of because you got invited due to your academic excellence. And we want the organization to be a safe space for students, and that they're heard if they come to things and have ideas, that you listen to them. If you do surveys to ask what they want to do, that they're heard and welcomed. And what this pillar can also mean is that your events that you do on campus, anything that you do with your chapter on campus, can just be social. It doesn't have to have a topic. You don't have to have a speaker. It doesn't have to be talking about resumes and do a service activity. It could just be social, for no reason other than to just get together and have fun. I think, again, high achieving students have a lot of pressure already. They forget sometimes to just have fun and let loose a little and relax. So you could be, taking hikes if you can, for those who are able, go to sporting events on your campus as a group, do things together. Ice cream socials are popular. And we don't have a picture of this, but game nights are very popular. We hear that a lot of chapters have a game night. Maybe once a month, everybody brings board games, or you do heads up, or bring cards, or whatever games are popular these days. At all your events, no matter what they are about, or any of the pillars, I would strongly suggest you have food at them. And if you aren't aware that your chapter has money, most of you have funds on campus. Talk to your advisor about accessing those funds if you don't already know how to get that money. But y'all have money to spend, so buy food at events. Buy food for events. That's my advice.